Okay.
So new album is coming out this month. How do you feel?
I feel really excited. I can't wait because I've been working on it for about a year and a half. So there's just so much love has been put into it, and I'm just excited to share it.
For you, what was the songwriting process like? Do you just jot ideas down as you think about them, or do you go in saying you want to write a song about a certain topic?
I think for me, like, melody comes really easily, so I tend to write that first, and those can be just little like memos on my phone, and I bring those in sometimes. And I was doing a bit of co-writing on this album, so it was really nice to start with one of my own ideas and just build on that.
You also produced songs on this album too. What was that like?
That was amazing. Yeah, I got to co-produce a few songs, and so it's really fun. Just because like when you first write something, you always, I think, well, for me, I always have an idea of how it might sound. So it's nice to experiment and get to be a part of that.
Right. So in the studio, what was the energy like? Kind of describe what it was like recording the songs.
Well, I was working mostly with these guys called My Riot, who are brilliant. They did the London Grammar album. They're so sweet, and so they've just spent a lot of time with me kind of working out what the right direction was. I feel like on this album I really knew what I wanted. I always like to A and B stuff, and I'm like, that's not it. But when I heard it, I was like, this is definitely it. And so that was really nice just to spend that time with them. And it was just really relaxed and friendly, and yeah.
And it's been a couple of years since your last album. What has life been like now that you're on your third album and you have a little bit of time off in between the two records?
It's a little different. I feel like this album is kind of my coming of age album, just because I'm older, and it's taken time to really like learn my opinions. And also over the last year I moved to London, so I've been there for a year, and just it's nice to be free for the first time. It's really fun.
What has that process been like, moving from home and like you said, being free a little on your own?
Yeah, it's been really fun. Also a little bit scary because I'm one of 5, so when I moved, I live on my own now, so it's just like, oh my god, it's so quiet. Where's all the people gone? So it's a bit weird, but I really enjoy it. I love being able to do whatever I want and just go out and see my friends, and that's amazing.
And when you released your first album, you were only 14?
15.
15, okay.
Yeah.
So how does it feel now being 19 and being on your third album and still going strong?
It feels really good. I feel like the first 2 albums were brilliant, and I've learnt so much. I've got so much experience from them, which is crazy. And so this album was so much fun because I wasn't afraid of anything. I knew how it worked. I knew the process already, which is so much fun.
A lot of people recognize you for your voice. I don't know if you know Rita Wilson. She's an actress. She's married to Tom Hanks.
Okay.
She was here yesterday, and so she had asked me, like, who are you interviewing this week? And I was like, oh, Birdy. She's a singer out of Europe. And she was like, I love Birdy. She said that she discovered you when she was in Kenya because the Safari tour guy loved your music.
Oh my god!
For her. It was so random.
That is so weird.
But she was like, she played her all your songs, and she loved it. So my point is, a lot of people love your voice.
That's so nice. That's such a cool story.
I know. I was just like, oh my god. She was so excited. She's like, tell her I love her. I was like, okay. But what's like? How have you seen your voice change in the last 4 years that you've been singing and recording?
It's got a lot deeper, which is a bit weird. But yeah, I think it has matured a bit. I don't know. I guess it's just been a natural change, I think. But I think I always have that kind of sad song voice, which that's what's most natural to me.
Do you like kind of singing the sad songs?
I love singing. I think that's what moves me the most. Is just I think probably from growing up with a lot of classical music that my mum played, which was it's always really sad pieces and really romantic kind of. And so that's just what moves me, I think.
And you worked with Jim, how do you say his last
Jim
name?
Abbas.
Right.
Yeah.
What was it like working with him on this album?
It was great. He did stuff on the first 2 albums as well. So I know him a bit, and that's really nice. Just like kind of old friends, doing more songs together, which it was, yeah, he always brings something really special to all of the songs.
So Growing Pains is the first song on the album.
Yeah.
What was it like recording that?
Growing Pains is really fun. It's got a bit of a Japanese kind of influence, it sounds a little bit Asian, which I love. I mean, the whole album has a bit of that influence. But that one's really fun because it's a bit more up-tempo, and I was singing in this a bit of a weirder voice, which I was experimenting with. But it was kind of fun just to be someone else on that song.
Because some of the album is inspired by Memoirs of a Geisha.
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
Talk about that, and did you just read the book as you were writing or working on the album?
I read the book, I think, at the beginning of the whole process. So, as I was kind of writing, and it was more just like the landscape that really inspired me. Just how it was described was so beautiful, and I felt like I was there. And I think I'm quite inspired by place, because like where I grew up it's kind of wild and kind of moody, and so I always wrote these really sad songs. And I moved to London, and I feel like these songs are a bit more uplifting. So yeah, I think I'm very inspired by place, and that really did it for me.
And what was your childhood like? Where you grew up, how far is that from London?
It's like an hour and a half on the train.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you always grow up with music around you?
Yeah, there's always music in my house when I grew up. My mum is a concert pianist, so she's the one who taught me to play. And she's constantly playing, and my sister's singing, and my dad's playing the drums, and so it was a crazy house, yeah.
And, so you said there are 5 of you, 5 siblings?
Yeah, 3 brothers and 1 sister.
Wow. Where do you fit in?
I'm in the middle.
Okay.
My 2 older brothers and then younger brother and sister.
And do your siblings, well, you said your sister sings, do your other siblings play music, or?
Yeah, my brother was in a band for a while, and he still plays and he writes, my eldest brother. My sister's like more kind of musical theatre. She's got more of a Beyonce voice, which is pretty cool. She's like a real diva. It's really good. But yeah, we're all kind of artistic.
Nice. I was listening to the album yesterday and today. I really like Wild Horses too.
Thank you.
What was it like recording that song?
That one, for me, I guess singing that one it's a lot more powerful than some of the other songs on the album. So that was really important to get all the emotion in there, and for it to really hit people. I wanted people to hear it and feel emotional. And yeah, that song, means a lot. It's very moving for me.
Do you always kind of have like a natural ability to emote when you're, because their songs are so heartfelt, and you when you sing, they're so connected to the lyrics. Was that kind of just naturally when you started singing, you were able to connect with songs like that?
I think so, but also I think I'm very moved by just music, and so probably when I was quite young, that's what really got me, was the music, and that's why my voice kind of was more emotive when I was younger. I think when I probably understood the words I wanted to write a bit more, it transferred to that. But yeah.
Because even so many of your cover songs sound like original songs. I remember I was telling Alana, I think maybe Young Blood, which I love. I thought it was your song.
Oh, really?
We just had this conversation.
That's so funny.
Yesterday.
Like Young Blood, I love it.
And
Yeah, people like that one.
Who is the band? Which band is it that has the original?
Naked and Famous.
Right, and when I heard their version, I was like, oh, they covered version. And I was like, oh, there's another version. So what has that been like? Because I think that's an amazing thing, because sometimes people
That's
cover
really
stuff,
nice.
and obviously
Thank
you
you.
don't want to change the song too much. You want to respect the original work, but you want to add your own flavor to
Yeah.
it. And what's that been like for you?
That's really fun. I learnt a lot from other people's writing, I think, doing all those covers. But yeah, doing it, I wanted to respect the original and do something completely different. And yeah, just kind of make it my own. But yeah, those songs are so beautiful already. It was nice to kind of just do some piano ballads of them, and find my way with them.
Right. And does this album kind of feel like a liberation for you? Kind of like a spread your wings moment?
Yeah, I think it does a little. Just because I really knew what I wanted, and I kind of learnt who I was on this album a bit more. I think just from growing up a bit, you kind of learn your opinions. Yeah.
When you were, you were so young when you released your first album, but even as like a 6-year-old or 7-year-old, did you kind of know that like you wanted to be a singer, that you wanted this to be your occupation?
I guess so. I never really thought I want to be a singer because I didn't think it was really possible. It's like, no way, that's what other people do. I can't do that. But I always wanted to do music. I couldn't imagine a life without music. But I always thought I'd like be a writer or something like that, like something else creative. But it wasn't until it actually happened, and I was just like, okay, I'll go with this. I'll see what happens. And I'm still doing it, so that's pretty good.
And who have been some of the people that have been like influential to you musically, growing up and even now?
Well, like albums I listened to is with Tracy Chapman. I loved growing up. My dad would play all the Beatles and George Michael. I listened to a lot of Avril Lavigne growing up, so that must have influenced me in some way. Also Jeff Buckley, Keen I loved because that was like the first album which I could hear a piano in, which was pop music, and I was like, this is so weird. I've only really heard like classical music with a piano. That really, really excited me.
And you mentioned the Beatles. I read something about Netflix. There's a Netflix. Are you covering a Beatles song?
Yeah.
Do you know what song?
It's for I've actually forgotten.
I think it's called
I've actually forgotten what it was so long ago.
I just saw like a Billboard article when I Googled your name, and I was like, wait. Okay.
I can't think of the name of the song. Like now you've asked me, it's like so far from my mind. Sorry. I can sing it. My life, man.
Or you can even just say,
anyway.
What was it like covering a Beatles song for this Netflix series?
It was amazing. Just to be a part of that, because I don't think it's never happened before. Using their music has never happened on anything before, so it's really exciting to get to be a part of it and sing one of their songs. It's such an honour. So yeah.
And for you, what's the live shows like when you're performing in front of the stage and being able to share some of your songs with the audience?
I love performing live. I love being able to connect with people, and like when people know the words to the songs, that's like the most amazing feeling. But also it's quite scary for me because I don't really like talking. So like in between songs I'm just like, oh my god. But when I'm singing, that I feel like in my own world, and that's, I love it.
Do you feel like the performing and even writing your own music and recording it makes you feel less shy?
Yeah, I don't know. When I'm actually singing, I guess I don't kind of have to be anything but my voice. I don't have to think about talking or even being myself. I just do what's natural. So yeah, in some ways, when I'm doing that, I'm not as shy, I guess. Yeah.
And you've also recorded a couple songs for different films. What's it like when you're working on a song for a film versus an original song?
It's amazing. I love music for films. I love doing that. It's so much fun. And I wrote some songs for The Fault in Our Stars, which were inspired by the book. Just from reading it, I was so moved by the story. And so I wrote a few songs. And one called Not About Angels, which is really sad. and yeah, it's amazing. I love cinematic music, and it's so exciting.
Do you, sometimes we see singers who sing, they kind of get dubbed as like sad singers, and then you meet them and they're like, I'm not sad all the time. Sam Smith says that all the time. He's like, look, I know I'm a little melancholy, but I'm not like sitting at home crying every day. He's like, it's just the kind of songs I like to sing and the kind of emotion behind it. Have you ever thought about that? Because some of your songs are sad, and you really do know how to emote and kind of bring that feeling out of people. Have you thought about that a little at all?
A little bit. I've been asked that a few times, like, am I really sad? No, I'm a pretty happy person. I hope. But everybody gets sad, and I think I just draw from those times when I'm singing and use them. But no, I'm pretty happy.
Right. Is it easy to write about a time that feels sad or dark, or is is it kind of therapeutic when you get to go through the motions, I guess, in a song?
Yeah, it feels nice to write a song and to sing it, and to feel the words. It can be painful sometimes, I think, but probably therapeutic as well. Yeah.
What do you have a favorite song on the album?
Not really. It kind of changes depending on, I don't know. I really love Growing Pains. That's really special to me, that one.
It's a good way to kick it off too, like you said, because it's a little bit more upbeat.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of.
It's a little bit different than the others, which I kind of is my special one.
Were there any tracks did you wanted to talk about specifically?
Yeah. One called Keeping Your Head Up, which is the first single. Which for me is probably like on the album. It's probably the most uplifting one. Which is really exciting. It's like a step in a different direction, which is kind of cool for me. And it's about kind of finding a light in the dark and not getting weighed down by things that make you upset, and just remembering that you always have someone who can lift you up again. So it's special to me.
Any other songs you wanted to talk about? Do you know the second single?
Second single is Wild Horses. Gonna be Wild Horses, yeah.
We talked about that. Was there anything else that we talked about? The tour. The tour is a European tour.
Yes, so we
Right.
didn't announce a U.S. tour just yet, but it's in the
Works.
Yes. That's
So we have an entertainment show in London called Entertainment Now. So if you don't mind looking in the camera and saying, hi, I'm Birdy, and you're watching Entertainment Now.
Okay. Hi, I'm Birdy, and you're watching Entertainment Now.
Perfect.
Thank you.
We're going to do a couple more photos if that's okay.
totally, yeah. We're
Cool.
gonna
Thank you so much.
No, thank you.